president's New York criminal trial. Star witness Michael Cohen will take the stand when court resumes at 9:30 this morning.
Cohen, one of the last key witnesses to testify in the trial, and some are already questioning the credibility of what Cohen will say during his testimony. Brooke Singman here with the details. Brooke, here we go.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, guys, that's right. Trump's former personal attorney and so-called fixer Michael Cohen is expected to claim that the former president reimbursed him for the $130,000 hush money payment to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. Now, Cohen will claim Trump instead falsified business records by labeling those alleged repayments as legal fees. Trump has pleaded not guilty to those charges, of course. So in 2018, Cohen was sentenced to 3 years in prison after pleading guilty to 9 federal charges, including one related to the payment made to Daniels. Now, Trump denies having any role in falsifying records to conceal the payment, but Cohen says he was directed to make that payment. But Cohen has not been able to keep his story straight in the past, and Trump allies are highlighting that Cohen has been convicted for lying. Now, in 2017, Cohen told Vanity Fair, quote, "I'm the guy who stops the leaks. I'm the guy who protects the president and the family. I'm the guy who would take a bullet for the president." Flash forward to 2020, when Cohen became a critic in his memoir, writing, quote, "Trump is a cheat, a liar, a fraud, a bully, a racist, a predator, a con man." But an advisor to Michael Cohen now claims that the truth is on his side.
Confident that he is telling the truth, and when you have the truth and you don't worry about telling the truth, it gives you confidence no matter what the attack is. He's confident that he's got the facts and they're fully corroborated by others. So all he's going to be doing, no matter what the attack is to say something fully corroborated by other people's testimony.
But legal experts warn that the, quote, star witness is not credible. Listen.
Remember, as a convicted felon in perjury, he's going to have a hard time telling a story that's not completely impeachable, being asked the fundamental question, are you lying now or are you lying then?
This guy is a disgraced, disbarred, convicted perjurer, went to prison. He's incapable of telling the truth.
Judge Juan Merchan has told prosecutors to order Cohen to stop making comments about the case after making TikTok videos taunting the former president. Watch this.
There's not too many names left in the, let's say, in the can. Let's just expect that I will have a lot on my plate sometime beginning next week.
Cohen is not subject to a gag order as a witness, but Trump has been fined a total of $10,000 for violating his gag order and has been threatened with jail time if he violates it again.
Are you gonna tell some lies, bro? Are you gonna tell some lies? Spin a tail, make me shine. Are you gonna tell some lies? Give me those lies. Give me those lies. Give me those lies. Those lies. Give me those lies. Are you gonna tell some lies, bro? Are you gonna tell some lies? Spin a tail, make me shine. Are you gonna tell some lies?
Wait a second. First off, good morning. I love you. But wait a second. We can make the screaming libs sing? Jerry, you shouldn't have told me that. We can make the screaming libs sing in the corners of the video? Let's do that all the time. This is, what was that, Sum 41, like punk rock, MXPX, what song was that? I don't actually know what song that was, but wow. New achievement unlocked, ladies and gentlemen. You watch this show for uplifting, and boy, do we have a heater for you today. It's Monday, May the 13th, 2024. Michael Cohen takes the stand in Trump trial. We'll explain to you why you really shouldn't take any of that very seriously, because lying liars who lie. Trump surges in New York Times swing state poll. Oh yeah, baby, there is full-on panic. We hear a lot of rumors of them potentially swapping Joe Biden out at the DNC convention. It's gonna get spicy. Donald Trump breaks the record books. History made once again with a 100,000 person Trump MAGA rally in a blue state in New Jersey. Patriots in control, baby. Mike Davis joins the show. Mike Davis bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen, this morning with his own flamethrower, and that is not a ginger joke. My name is Benny Johnson, and this is The Benny Show. Okay. Wow. So a lot of news out of the stock market this morning. If you care about these kind of things, GameStop is PAC halting trading at GameStop. Maybe you follow this kind of stuff. I always think meme stocks are very funny. We love memes on this program. What's the point? The point is that you can't really predict anything when it comes to the way that the markets move these days. It's insanity. I guess that your best option would be to follow Nancy Pelosi's stock tracker and just see what the insider traders in Congress do, the insider traitors in Congress. If you are not a traitor or a day trader and you don't want to bet your entire future on something that may go up or down or collapse or halt trading, then maybe you should invest in gold. Just a thought, ladies and gentlemen, invest in gold. My friends at Allegiance Gold can take care of you. They will make sure that your money is secure and securely backed in something that just goes like this and has for all time. Okay, that's just it. And there's some value in that security, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I invest in precious metals. I just diversify my portfolio, right? Just nice to have that constant. Go ahead and check them out, ladies and gentlemen. Protectwithbenny.com today. Protectwithbenny.com today. Call 844-66-BENNY right now. Get up to $5,000 free silver with a qualifying purchase. Protectwithbenny.com today. Okay, so somebody who should have been protecting himself, his own legacy, and his own, I guess, like personal integrity should have been Michael Cohen. Let us discuss for just a moment this morning the nature of a liar. Okay? Maybe you've been in a bad relationship where you've been with somebody who lies to you, right? We've used this metaphor before, but this is something that does happen. Like when you find people lying, right? When you find them in demonstrable lies, and this does not have to be like some type of big lie, like, oh my goodness, she's embezzled, all your money, she stole everything from you. This doesn't have to be some like, oh my goodness, she's hooking up with her high school boyfriend or something. It doesn't have to be something like that. It can just be something simple, like I'm going to the grocery store. But she didn't go to the grocery store. She lied to you. This is somebody who's lying to you. Well, if you lie about small things, if you lie about little things like that, like were you at the grocery store? And then they lie and make up another lie and make up another lie. You know the nature of the liar. You know liars. There are liars all over the nature of the lie. Joe Biden's a liar, right? And you catch them in these lies, and it's humiliating for them, and they continue to lie to cover up the lies. These people are not trustworthy. If they'll lie about small things, they'll lie about big things. And so it's not worth putting your lot in with liars. It's a bad style of person to be in league with, whether you're dating them or whether you're in business with them. It's amazing in this profession, like you end up meeting so many people and knowing so many people that have been defrauded and that have had their business partners destroy them or had their relationships destroyed. And it's always, the nature is always the same. It's dishonesty. It's just dishonesty. It's just liars. And so it's not worth hanging your hat or hanging a shingle or putting your lot in with liars. Don't do it. These people are not to be trusted. And that is why it's so curious that the entire prosecution is hanging their hat on a porn star who admits that she has spiritual and or demonic possession. We learned that last week with Stormy Daniels. So potentially demon-possessed porn star, Stormy Daniels, and then a convicted liar. Somebody who's done hard time, gone to prison as a liar, which is Michael Cohen. We have something remarkable because we're going to hear a lot about Michael Cohen in the coming days. He's testifying right now, literally before the court in the Trump trial. We're going to hear a lot about it, but we have an image to put up on screen for you, ladies and gentlemen. A image of a letter that Michael Cohen's attorneys sent to the FEC. Highly confidential. Federal Election Commission. This is big time. Ooh, boy. This is really scary stuff. The FEC, the people who overlook campaign finance, okay? What they're going for with Donald Trump in this absolute trash tire fire of a case is Donald Trump violated campaign finance. Somehow a payment that was made in 2017 for a alleged affair in 2005 was used to rig the presidential election in 2016. Now, somebody's going to have to explain to me that math. But more importantly, somebody's going to have to explain to me this letter. And it's worth actually going through this letter from February 8th, 2018. This letter, which is sent to the chairman of the FEC, the people who are supposed to look into these kind of things, right? Oh boy, these are the people who fined Hillary Clinton hundreds of thousands of dollars for the Russia dossier, right? Because it was not attributed correctly on her federal elections commission form. The laws on these things are very, very strict, and you got to be careful. Campaign finance laws are dangerous stuff to mess around with, okay? So this is a letter from Michael Cohen, his lawyer, to the FEC. Get a load of what it says. I'm writing on behalf of my client, Michael Cohen, in response to a letter dated January 30th, 2018. Specifically, the letter responds to a complaint which was filed with the FEC in a private transaction in 2016 before the U.S. presidential election. Mr. Cohen used his own personal funds to facilitate a payment of $130,000 to Stephanie Clifford, which is Stormy Daniels. Neither the Trump organization nor the Trump campaign was party to the transaction with Stormy Daniels, and neither reimbursed Mr. Cohen for the payment directly or indirectly. Contrary to allegations about the complaint, which is entirely speculative, neither Michael Cohen nor the consultancy made any in-kind contributions to Donald Trump for president. Mr. Cohen has not been a government employee during any of the relevant period. The payment in question does not constitute a campaign contribution or expenditure, and therefore the FEC lacks jurisdiction in the matter. The complainants have not and cannot present any evidence to the contrary. Accordingly, the complaint should be dismissed. So this is the counsel for Michael Cohen saying, and we should summarize here, Michael Cohen used his own money. He was not reimbursed by the Trump campaign. This was not an in-kind contribution to the Trump campaign. And he did this by himself. Case closed. Case over. This is the end. Here's the letter. And this was the letter that was not only accepted by the FEC. I mean, when we put this up, we got 41,000. We put this up a couple months ago. We have 41,000 likes, 15,000 reposts, 2.6 thousand comments. They did this one thermonuclear. New bombshell documents destroyed Manhattan DA case against Trump. Michael Cohen declared that Cohen used his own personal funds to pay for Stormy Daniels. Trump campaign did not pay or did not know about the transactions, did not reimburse Cohen. It's over. This is what they're going to hear from today. They're going to hear from a guy today saying that this letter was a lie. Well, what's the nature of a liar? Are you lying then? Are you lying now? If we've caught you in this lie, why should we believe that you're telling us the truth now? Here's a letter you sent to the FEC, to the federal government, under penalty of perjury, explaining that Donald Trump is completely innocent of the charges that he's facing today. And you are the star witness, wearing your little hat on TikTok. So again, the nature of lie, hanging your entire case on a liar like Michael Cohen is a bad look. It's not only a bad look, it means that nobody can trust anything that you are doing. It means that this entire thing is like collapsing from the inside. And we've seen that. We're going to show you some unbelievable polling. We're going to show you a remarkable event from this weekend. And we're also going to talk about all this with Mike Davis. But just know that, like, as a rule, young men, if you are listening to me, young people, if you're listening to me, like, do not associate yourself with liars. Rid those people of your life. It is not, if you catch people lying in small things, you don't have to catch them lying in big things. If you catch people lying in small things, like, be done with them, because the nature of the liar is just to continue to lie, continue to ratchet up the lies until the entire system collapses. All right. And you don't want to be around those people. Take brutal truth. Like, you should want brutal truth instead of beautiful lies or soft, pleasant lies any day. It is a maxim of life. Brutal, honest truth. That's how marriages stay together. That's how business partnerships stay together. And if you have a lawyer, you want your lawyer to tell you brutal truths and not twist themselves up in torturous lies and can be manipulated like Michael Cohen is today. Okay, that's just a basic takeaway from life. Anyway, speaking of brutal truths, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump, brutal truths today, following in our proud tradition of carrying forward Donald Trump's commentary before the court as Donald Trump is gagged, as Donald Trump cannot speak for himself about this case, yet talks inside of the court every single day. Here's Donald Trump from seconds ago at the courthouse in New York. We will not interrupt the president, nor will we try to interslice this. You deserve to hear directly from the president about what's going on with him today. And here was Donald Trump just moments ago.
See Michael today?
Mr. Trump, who do you have with you today?
Is there anything he could say that could put you in jeopardy?
Well, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate you being here. The New York Times just came out with a poll that shows us leading everywhere by a lot. This is the cover story, and I think you'll find it very interesting, but I'm sure you've all read it. Leading in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Michigan, Georgia, and Nevada. Nevada, we are leading actually by 12 points, which is generally a Democrat state. I think we're probably leading in New Jersey. We had a rally, over 100,000 people this weekend. A lot of the mainstream media didn't want to say how many people, they didn't want to cover it. But in fact, I don't think anybody did. I hear the crowd was not shown by the mainstream media, which is what they tell me, but that's par for the course. A couple of quotes that just came out. Fareed Zakaria, no friend of mine. The Trump trial is politically motivated. I doubt the New York indictment would have been brought against a defendant whose name was not Donald Trump. Mark Levin, great guy, brilliant man. Our judicial system has blown up, it's broken. Andrew McCarthy. Trump should be acquitted in Manhattan, wholly independent of the plethora of constitutional infirmities in the prosecution. It should be thrown out for the most basic of reasons. Bragg cannot prove his case. Got no evidence. And I'm innocent. This is a political witch hunt, and nobody's ever seen anything like it. And it's, I tell you what, the appellate division on the judges should step in, because what this judge is getting away with is disgraceful, including the fact that we have thousands of people, we had 100,000 people in New Jersey. They would like to show their support. It's like an armed camp outside. You can't get one person within 3 blocks of this courthouse. Greg Jarrett, we're not, I mean, you take a look at this statement, we're entering the 4th week, and there's still no evidence whatsoever connecting Trump with any criminal wrongdoing. A crime that's not charged, it's a crime that, in which prosecutors won't even tell the defendant what it is. I have no idea what they're even doing. We have records, and they talk about bookkeeping. The only thing down in the bookkeeping is that we call a legal expense a legal expense. We don't call it a construction expense. We don't say for concrete work. We don't say for electrical work. We pay the lawyer a legal expense. And we have a legal expense is a legal expense. It's marked down in the book, quote, legal expense. It's perfectly marked down. The other side doesn't know how to handle it, but they say, let's indict him anyway, because that's what Biden, this all comes from Biden in the White House, by the way. And they have their top people here. Because when he can't put 2 sentences together, he's the worst president in the history of our country. Can't speak, can't walk off a helicopter, can't walk off a plane, can't walk off a stage. And the only way they think they can win is if they can do something with Trump. Because we have an incompetent, the worst president in the history of the United States of America. Jonathan Turley, after Bragg closes the prosecution's case, the defense will make a standard motion for dismissal. Mershon, who is so corrupt and so conflicted, like no judge has ever been, and the press doesn't want to write about it, but you know exactly what we're saying. Mershon should grant that motion for dismissal. There's been no showing of a crime. They failed to protect the rights of the defendant from a baseless, politically motivated prosecution. That's Jonathan Turley. All very talented legal experts. But the big thing today seems to be the Times. I'm sure the Times is thrilled. I respect them for at least letting it come out. And there it is. It's Trump leading by a lot in every state. Every swing state leading by a lot. This trial is rigged. It's dishonest. It's a disgrace to New York. It's a disgrace to the country. I should be out campaigning now instead of sitting in a very cold courthouse all day long. This is a Biden prosecution. It's election interference at a level that nobody in this country has ever seen before. This is for third world countries, not for the USA. Thank you very much.
Mr. Trump, who's with you in the courtroom today?
Why Hannibal Lecter? Do you plan to testify?
What a alpha move. All right, so we saw a couple of interesting things there that we haven't seen before. First off, we had Donald Trump flanked by some huge heavy hitters in Congress. Nicole Malliotakis, who is a member of Congress, was behind him along with Eric Trump. That's to be expected. But then you saw Tommy Tuberville and Senator J.D. Vance, two big-time swingers in the Senate. J.D. Vance is a vice presidential finalist for Donald Trump, the senator from Ohio. Now, that's pretty remarkable. This is great. What a look. What a look. That's all. This is awesome. Good for good for you. Every single Republican should be I didn't know that they could do this. I didn't know you could follow Trump into the courthouse like this. Any Republican and every Republican should be showing up as a show of force for Donald Trump in this courthouse. Republicans should be showing up for Trump and standing behind him like this. Good for J.D. Vance. God bless J.D. Vance. In the blue tie there, you can see Eric Trump. And next to them is Senator Tuberville as well, a legendary football coach. So this is I was not expecting that. Not expecting that. Way to go. Also, Jamie on our team, who's just such an excellent graphic designer. Was there a question about Hannibal Lecter at the end of that? We're not going to replay it, but ALX, can you let me know? Did one of the reporters go, "Are you Hannibal Lecter?" Like, what's going on there? I did hear that. I kind of passed over it. No way they asked about that. Somebody asked about Hannibal Lecter. Okay. There's a Babylon Bee article about this. Donald Trump being forced to wear a Hannibal Lecter mask in order to stop him from violating his gag order. But yeah, maybe we'll see if we can produce that next segment. So Michael Cohen has arrived at the court. Here is the breaking news. It's pandemonium. Michael Cohen's their final witness, right? So the demonic porn star who talks to spirits. She blew up the case quite literally and metaphorically. And then Michael Cohen, here's your last guy, the guy who went to federal prison for lying. Here's your star witness arrival.
Fox News Alert star witness in former President Trump's New York criminal trial, Michael Cohen, ignores reporters on his way to the New York Supreme Court, where he is set to take the stand in just over an hour. Don't worry. The production team is searching as to whether a reporter asked Donald Trump to his face, "Are you Hannibal Lecter?" or something like that. Okay. They probably will need some restraints for Donald Trump because he'll be facing Michael Cohen directly and physically in court today. Here's a preview of what Cohen is probably saying right now in court because this trial is ongoing as we speak.
He used to be one of former President Trump's most aggressive defenders. Now Michael Cohen is testifying against his former boss. Cohen is expected to be the prosecution's key witness. He will detail the alleged scheme by Trump to pay off Stormy Daniels and reimburse Cohen for paying her so Stormy's story would not damage Trump's campaign in 2016. Judge Juan Marchand is reprimanding Cohen ahead of his testimony. Marchand is asking prosecutors to tell Cohen to stop publicly talking about the case and Trump. Cohen has been commenting about the case on TikTok.
I will have a lot on my plate sometime beginning next week. Smash those hearts, smash the blue hearts and so on, the like button, all that crap. Do that just so that we can show MAGA.
But Marchand did not place a gag order on Cohen, causing the former president to lash out against the judge.
There is no gag order to Michael Cohen. What the judge did was amazing, actually. It was amazing. Everybody can say whatever they want. They can say whatever they want, but I'm not allowed to say anything about anybody. It's a disgrace.
Former White House aide Madeleine Westerhout wrapped up her testimony on Friday. She testified that Trump was a multitasker who would sign documents without reviewing them sometimes. And that could undermine the prosecution's argument that Trump would have been aware of the $130,000 payment to Cohen.
Our team is talking about like how utterly pathetic and cringe Michael Cohen is on social media. His tomatoes like the heart of all that crap. Can't do that. Would you tune into the show if every show I was like, why don't you smash the hearts and likes and all that crap? Okay? Come on, don't do it. While I'm wearing a t-shirt like this, wear like some like t-shirt with Donald Trump in prison. These are the t-shirts that Michael Cohen is selling on his website. Now, we talked about, we showed you yesterday, yesterday. It feels like yesterday because this trial's been going on. It's a trial that'll never end. They're trying to keep Donald Trump off the campaign trail. That's the point of the trial. But last Friday, we played you clip after clip after clip of legal experts, not on Fox, on MSNBC and CNN, saying what Stormy Daniels admitted to multiple times, that she hates Trump. She hates Trump and she has a vendetta out to get him. That's not good. That actually is really bad for the jury. The jurors don't like to hear that because then it biases your testimony and you just think, oh, wait a second, I'm not going to be a useful tool to try and execute some type of personal vendetta for this person, right? So what happens when you're wearing a t-shirt with some psychosexual fantasy, this doofball being like, do you like and punch the like button and all that crap for my t-shirt? It's Michael Cohen. So smart. Michael Cohen admitted that he lied before Congress after serving time in federal prison for lying and being disbarred. This is their top witness. Check this guy out.
I've been convicted on 5 counts of tax evasion.
You stood before multiple congressional committees before today and raised your right hand and swore an oath to be honest. And you lied to those congressional committees. Is that correct?
Previously?
Correct.
Yes, sir.
A reporter for the magazine Vanity Fair has reported that she interviewed you the very next day on February 14th, 2018, about the payment and reimbursement. And she wrote, quote, last February 14th, I interviewed Cohen in his office about the statement he gave the FEC in which he said Trump didn't know about the Stormy payment or reimburse him for it. Do you recall this meeting with the reporter?
I do.
Okay, so I'm testifying and trust me, super pinky swear. Come here, Congressman. I'll pinky swear you that I'm telling you the truth this time. Yeah, I just went to prison for lying a bunch of other times, but this time I'll tell you the truth. Really, it's remarkable. Such a strong case against Donald Trump. Is this man biased against Donald Trump? Because as the story goes, he didn't get a job in the White House and then his life fell apart because of his own demons that had nothing to do with Trump? Maybe he admits he hates Donald Trump. That's not a great start. Let's go.
Do you think the defense will ask Michael Cohen, do you hate Donald Trump?
Oh, my goodness. Hate's not the right word. I mean, it's his entire livelihood. It's his entire persona.
That's how he makes a living.
There is some poor intern on the defense team.
Do you think he'll answer yes, or do you think he'll try to give a nuanced
Michael
answer?
Cohen embraced. Yeah, right. He's going to embrace this. I mean, some poor intern on the defense team is probably listening to every podcast this guy's ever done, every TikTok he's ever done. It is over the top. I've never seen anything like the level of personal hatred and bias that Michael Cohen will have.
And Michael Cohen wrote an entire book called Revenge.
Yes, right.
So you don't really have to look that hard to find his motivation.
I'm just wondering if he would cop to it so freely, or if, you know.
We'll see, but
he's going to have no choice. And don't forget, he's getting.
Okay, keep your hands above the table, Lubin Tubin. All right, keep your hands up where we can see them, Tubin. All right, we ain't done with you, man. Believe that. So okay, but anyway, back to Michael Cohen. All right, back to Michael Cohen. Too many scumbags on screen at one time. He's fry your brain. Michael Cohen is a guy who they are basing. Yeah, he's the star witness. Stormy Daniels didn't provide anything of actual value to the case. This is something that was said time and time again. Stormy Daniels presented no evidence. Stormy Daniels presented no testimony. Stormy Daniels was there to smear Donald Trump and to make a funny little headline about some type of grotesque testimony, personal, vendetta-laced sickness that she has to then act out on the rest of us. But Stormy Daniels didn't do anything. Michael Cohen's the star witness, all right? He's the star witness. Some might say he's a knight in shining armor. Some may say that he's actually, he's going to come roaring into the courtroom like a knight on a white horse. But unfortunately, the white horse is already gone, fled the stable. That would have been Stormy Daniels. And two, he's a degenerate fool who's wearing these kind of things on TikTok to make money for himself. Can we stop for a second? Like, look at your screen. We didn't create this. We make a lot of memes. We make fun of a lot of people. We do memes. We do memes live of these events. We didn't make this. Michael Cohen did this to himself live on TikTok to humiliate and disgrace himself to make money, to make like $17 during a live. I mean, like, you know, to dance monkey dance. That's it. It's so degrading. This is the best they got against our boy. This is the best they got against Trump. It's unbelievably humiliating. Never trust a liar. Do not trust these people. And which side are you on? Again, we asked this on Friday when we talked about the demon possession with Stormy Daniels. Are you on the side of the people that are like using literal witches in their witch hunt of Trump? You might be part of the baddies. You may be on the bad side. You may be part of the bad guys. You should check yourself. You should check your soul. You should ask yourself, like, which side do I wish to be on? And we could go further, but ladies and gentlemen, we can't say it better than Jonathan Turley did here on Fox News. Our favorite legal analyst, Jonathan Turley, saying this is humiliation to the court. Watch.
This is an utter disgrace that this case has gotten this far. And I would hope that he would have second thoughts. But keep in mind, when he told the prosecutors, can you tell Michael Cohen to cut it out, stop the antics? I got to tell you, I was not one of those complimenting the judge. Why wouldn't you do that at the beginning of the trial? You were doing that the weekend before he testified. This guy has been out there with a 3-ring circus going on, and you haven't said a thing. And then suddenly said, it'd be nice if we can go through the weekend without him trolling for dollars on TikTok.
Trolling for dollars on TikTok. Now, you may think that's savage, but nothing beats Greg Jarrett. Greg Jarrett on Fox just took an absolute flamethrower from space. I don't think that would actually work, but I'm just going to make it up, okay? Because I pretty much have the mind of a 5-year-old boy. Like, it's like a flamethrower from space attached to a satellite to this entire case. This is the best clip from the weekend. Greg Jarrett, take it away.
Well, we're entering the 4th week. Still no evidence connecting Trump to any criminal wrongdoing. Stormy Daniels, she knew nothing about the business records, which is the basis for the charges. She was an irrelevant witness who was there for one reason, to slime Trump, and I think it backfired. She was dismantled on cross-examination. That sets the stage, of course, for the notorious Michael Cohen. This guy is a disgraced, disbarred, convicted perjurer, went to prison. He's incapable of telling the truth. But you know what, Maria? That is precisely what Alvin Bragg is counting on. By putting on an admitted liar on the stand, no credibility, the DA is essentially suborning perjury. He knows Cohen will lie. So, you know, cross-examination is the engine of truth. And this won't be just a beatdown of Michael Cohen. This will be a savage mauling. It's too easy, Maria.
It'll be a savage mauling. It won't be a beatdown. It'll be a savage mauling. Dude, Greg Jarrett must be looking at our headlines on YouTube and social media. Good for you, Greg. Greg Jarrett does like retweet our stuff every once in a while, right? ALX? Yeah, okay, great. Any word on whether somebody asked Trump if he's Hannibal Lecter? I'm still waiting on that. Hannibal Lecter in the courthouse. We're getting finally the first images out of the courthouse from the cartoonist, from the auteur inside of the court. And it looks like this: Donald Trump mean mugging Michael Cohen. Look at this. Look at that Chad. Is that the Chad? Is that the new Giga Chad meme? Look at this. Look at the expression on Cohen. Can we zoom in there? Look at the expression on Cohen and Trump. Look at that. This is going on right now inside of the court. Ooh, baby. Wow. All right. Can we go to the last one? Can we go to the first one there, Klein? This one's great. Look. Look at Michael Cohen. Look at that face. Look at that expression on Trump. Total Giga Chad. I don't know how you live with yourself. I don't think about you at all. It's the Mad Men. It's a Mad Men meme. It's incredible. I don't think about you at all. Oh, it's incredible. Look at the face. Look at Michael Cohen. Look at that sad sack, droopy dog. You know Droopy Dog from the Looney Tunes? Yeah. How do you even do? I can't even do that. Michael Cohen, what a joke. What a disgrace. What a disgrace, these guys. How bad is it? How bad is it? One more quick Greg Jarrett. He's a legal expert. One more quick Greg Jarrett takeaway on all this. And then Mike Davis, coming up here, ladies and gentlemen, on deck. It's going to take 5 minutes to acquit, says Greg Jarrett. He says this case is irreparably brought. He says that the prosecutors are suborning perjury by putting convicted liars, felons, disgraced and disbarred attorneys on the stand. He's saying that the prosecutors may get their big old Uno reverse. Uno reverse. Uno reverse. Work on my Spanish accent. Uno reverse. You're going to get the Uno reverse card here. Could Alvin Bragg be opening himself up for investigation? Suborning perjury himself by putting known liars on the stand to lie? Interesting question. Greg Jarrett on exactly how this trial is going to shake up. 5-minute acquittal. Go.
Say about the possibility that Trump can get a fair jury and a fair trial in New York.
If jurors abide by their duty to examine the evidence presented within the four corners of that courtroom and not to make a decision for a political or personal reason that they may dislike the accused, then this case should take about 5 minutes for an acquittal. Obviously, it's going to take a lot longer than that. They've got to go through it all. But look, think about what he is charged with: falsifying business records with a felonious intent to commit another crime, a crime that's not charged, and a crime in which prosecutors won't even tell the defendant what it is. It's a mystery crime. That is such an egregious violation of the Sixth Amendment. An accused is entitled to know the specific accusations against him. This judge is so biased, Juan Marchand, that he's not making Alvin Bragg do that. It's as if Marchand has taken off his black robe, stepped down from the bench, and he is now sitting at the prosecution table determined to help engineer a wrongful conviction.
I love it. I love it. Man, they are absolutely turning the gears on Fox News, finally on this trial, and people are beginning to see through it. And we have a ton of polling. We have a ton of proof that this is happening right now. We also have memes that are happening in real time. Might as well. We don't have inside the court access. So the best we have, ladies and gentlemen, are memes here of your knight from Temu or Wish.com. And there's your knight. Donald Trump. Donald Trump with the mean mug. We're going to play this for Mike Davis. I'm telling you. Mike Davis is on deck. We're going to play this for Mike Davis. Also, he looks like Droopy Dog. He does look like Droopy Dog. Okay, here's Droopy Dog. You know Droopy Dog? It's Droopy Dog. Benny, why you keep playing us these Fox News clips? Of course, Fox News is in the tank for Trump. Fox News isn't going to be on the side of Droopy Dog. Okay, fair. Got it. Yeah. Definitely, there's a lot of big-time Trump fans at Fox News. However, what about CNN? What if I played you a CNN clip from this weekend? What if I played you a known Trump hater, Fareed Zakaria, somebody who's, well, as far as I know, like full-blown TDS, saying, you know what? I got to break it to all of you. This is all backfired. Trump's going to win. This isn't working out the way that we all planned it. And Donald Trump's more popular than ever. And we screwed the pooch here. No offense to Droopy Dog. What if I played you that clip? Because that's what happened this weekend on CNN. Okay, here we go. You want your dose of like corporate media from the other side? There you go.
And the trials against him keep him in the spotlight, infuriate his base, who sees him as a martyr, and even may serve to make him the object of some sympathy among people in general who believe that his prosecutors are politically motivated. This happens to be true, in my opinion. I doubt the New York indictment would have been brought against a defendant whose name was not Donald Trump. A majority of Americans are skeptical that Trump will be able to get a fair trial, according to a CNN poll.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was a man, Fareed Zakaria, with a British accent. I would assume maybe he's a citizen of the United Kingdom. I don't know, actually. I don't know. I'm not sure. He speaks with a British accent. Somebody who was, I think, potentially fomenting a new revolutionary war with the Brits from last week, who was on BBC, otherwise known as the Bimbo Broadcasting Company, now famously known as the Bimbo Broadcasting Company, is Mike Davis. Now, we have so much to speak with Mike about. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll start with that. Well, because Mike's got such great history with the Brits, why don't we start with that clip? Joining us now, the great Mike Davis. Oh, Mike, we are so happy to have you on the program. Hot as a pistol. I think you may be banned from the United Kingdom, my friend.
Well, that's their loss, because when I'm Trump's viceroy, I could establish very good diplomatic relations with the United Kingdom, but, whatever.
For those who are unfamiliar, and I think that would be very few people, but Mike was brought on the BBC last week and decided to give a crash course in the Constitution, the First Amendment, and in just basic legal theory, and led to the BBC anchor breaking into tears, I think, live on camera, and the BBC effectively cutting the feed because Mike Davis, not since the Battle of Bunker Hill have we seen a greater attack on the United Kingdom from an American, or Yorktown, I guess, perhaps would be the Revolutionary War battle. Can you talk me through like what's been the reaction to that? I think we have a couple clips lined up from that, but please, the BBC reached out to you. It was instant regret.
Yeah, well, the BBC reached out to me through LinkedIn and asked me to go on their show, which I'm happy to go on any of these liberal shows and destroy them like I've done on CNN and now BBC. MSNBC has had me on for like an hour, but not actually me, just clips on shows like yours, Ben. But I went on this show and I didn't realize what I was walking into. They had a bimbo porn star before me. And so I'm in their, green room online listening to this bimbo porn star talk about how she worked with Stormy Daniels to do a threesome with Donald Trump, which is just complete garbage, right? And so then they put me on, and this British woman who's acting all prim and proper and British is trying to get me to respond to this bimbo porn star. And so I just spent the next few minutes just constantly calling her a bimbo porn star. And the BBC reporter said that she didn't like that I was calling her a bimbo porn star. So I called her a bimbo porn star like 4 or 5 more times. And then at the end of my hit, they had the bimbo porn star on to respond to my attacks.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a supercut of Mike Davis. If you're unfamiliar, it's worth playing. Mike, I hate to go away from you when you're live here, but let's just do really quickly. Here's Mike's performance on the BBC.
And this bimbo porn star say that
I think calling a bimbo porn star is pretty offensive.
You just had a bimbo porn star come out and accuse President Trump of trying to have a threesome with Stormy Daniels. This woman is so credible that the prosecutor doesn't want to call her in to be a witness.
Let's just be quite clear.
Can't respond to Stormy Daniels and this bimbo porn star you just had on, who made that malicious smear against President Trump, he can't respond to that or he goes to jail. And frankly, the BBC should be ashamed of itself that you just put a bimbo porn star on.
I think we get the message. I think we get the message about how you're addressing her. And thank you very much for doing this.
What would you call her?
I would call her a woman who happens to be either a film star or she has a job. I don't think that you've any particular locus in this.
She definitely has a job.
So it's just why. I mean, this is what this case. We have a Soros-funded Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg, who campaigned on getting Trump, a Biden senior political appointee and a former DNC political consultant and a former Obama White House and Justice Department political appointee, Matthew Colangelo, bringing these bogus these bogus charges against Trump after the prior Manhattan DA, the Manhattan U.S. Attorney, the Federal Election Commission, and Bragg himself declined to bring these bogus charges. And their star witnesses are a porn star, Stormy Daniels, who's changed her story several times and is making money on her penned Twitter tweet where she's peddling her porn videos. And then you have this disbarred, disgraced serial perjurer and felon, disbarred attorney, Michael Cohen, who's changed his story several times and is raising money off TikTok. And that wasn't bad enough. Now you have this bimbo porn star who can't even make the A team. They won't even bring her in to testify because she's such a whack job. And now she's going on the BBC. Just imagine when the producer called this bimbo porn star and said, "Hey, do you want to come on the BBC?" And she said, "Of course, I do it all the time." And so of course they put her on the BBC.
Maybe this is what Michael Cohen's trying to do here in this image. Maybe he's auditioning for the royal court as a to get knighted. Do you think, Mike?
I have competition to be Trump's viceroy, apparently, with Michael Cohen. I need to start wearing the costumes like Michael. I mean, look at this clown. This is their star witness today. This complete clown who is a serial perjurer, a convicted felon, a disbarred attorney. He's changed his story several times. And really, at the end of the day, even if Trump paid off this nuisance claim to Stormy Daniels to make her go away, it's not a crime. It is routine for business people to settle nuisance claims. If it were a crime to settle a nuisance claim, there would be a lot of my former clients who are businessmen who I settled their nuisance claims with non-disclosure agreements who would be in prison right now. This is a bogus case against President Trump. They waited how many years? 7 years to bring these charges against Trump based upon a 2017 settlement of a nuisance claim. And his accountants booked the settlement as a legal expense. What the hell else would you call it? I mean, that's what it is a legal expense. And they're timing this trial so Trump is stuck in a courtroom for 2 months instead of on the campaign trail. This is obviously Democrat lawfare and election interference. And if you look at even the New York Times new polling out today, Trump is beating Biden in every swing state. This lawfare, this election interference is backfiring. And the Article 3 Project has predicted that and made that happen with over 3,500 media hits supporting and defending Trump over the last 22 months since the Mar-a-Lago raid. We're going to ensure that these Democrat prosecutors and these Democrat judges and these Democrat witnesses and these Democrat operatives and these Democrat hellholes like New York, D.C., and Atlanta pay a severe political, legal, and financial price for this obvious conspiracy to take out Trump.
So pivoting, I mean, obviously to what you said about Michael Cohen here, some are saying that Alvin Bragg is suborning perjury by putting a known liar on the stand who nobody knows what the truth is now, right? So he's lied multiple times about this thing. Earlier in the show, we put up the letter from his attorney saying that Donald Trump had nothing to do with the payment and it was made entirely by himself and that it wasn't a campaign violation and that he was never compensated for it. Are you lying then or are you lying now? Is Alvin Bragg potentially opening himself up for prosecutorial misconduct here?
Yeah, I mean, he's Alvin Bragg and Matthew Colangelo and Judge Juan Merchan, who's corrupt, who should have recused because his daughter, Lauren Merchan, is raising money as a Democrat consultant, a Democrat fundraiser. She is raising millions of dollars off of her father's unprecedented trial over a former and likely future president. It requires Judge Merchan's recusal under New York statute. That's not just crazy Mike Davis saying that. A former federal Clinton judge from New York went on Caitlin Collins' show on CNN on April 5th and said Judge Merchan clearly has to recuse because his daughter, Lauren's, raising money off this trial. He's refused to recuse. Instead, he retaliated against Trump by expanding this illegal, unconstitutional gag order. This is a criminal conspiracy against rights, a very serious federal civil rights crime, up to 10 years in prison, 18 USC 241. And when Trump's back in office, his acting attorney general, I'll be the viceroy, don't worry, it's not going to be me, needs to open a criminal probe on this on day one, because this is blatant lawfare and election interference. These are republic-ending tactics. And again, if these Democrat prosecutors and judges and witnesses and operatives, both inside government and outside of government, do not pay severe legal, political, and financial price for this, this will never end.
So it's really unique what's happening right now in the political landscape, and you have predicted it, and I've got to tell you, at certain moments, even my faith faltered a bit, but this ain't working, man. Before you came on, we played you this Fareed Zakaria, this visceral Trump hater on CNN, saying it's all blown up in our faces. This is backfired, and it's time to accept that.
Yeah,
that the American people don't like lawfare, and that they have sniffed this out and said and found Democrats wanting. And this whole shell game that like Biden's not involved. Trust us, we're not involved. We just have meetings with Jack Smith every second Tuesday of the month to tell him what to do. Meetings with Fannie Willis. Send Michael Colangelo to New York to staff up this bull case. I think that people have the backfire is now officially here. I think it's just getting started. I think it's going to get much worse. The New York Times predicting 270 for Donald Trump today.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to get so bad, as we've predicted for 22 months. You're going to see President Biden bleed out young black male support, and that is going to be devastating to Biden. Remember, the black Americans make up 13% of the population. They vote 95% Democrat. Democrats say Republicans will never win the black vote. Well, guess what? We don't need to. If you change that number from 95% to 85% for Biden, that's a 1.3% swing. If you get below 85%, there's no chance that Biden can win. Look, Biden is toast. He is cooked after this polling. There is no way. They're going to have to throw Biden overboard and bring someone else in.
Yeah. Throwing it overboard. That's the thing. Yeah, we have a meme being made of you right now where you're doing the Boston Tea Party. This is the worst offense since the Boston Tea Party, actually, to the English crown, is what you did on the BBC. We've been working on this, Mike. I'm not sure we'll have it done by the time of this interview, but we'll send it to you. Hopefully, you'll post it on X. So now that the backlash is officially here, we'd love to give MSNBC another clip. I want to set the table, and perhaps you could correct me. Obviously, Mike, you're the professional here. I just went to Kirkwood Community College. Is there anything that's going correctly for Joe Biden, Merrick Garland, Eric Holder, and the attempt, and Jack Smith across the legal landscape right now? It seems like everything is in full-scale collapse, but even worse, the Uno reverse is happening, where you have a lot of people looking into Fannie Willis now. You have a hearing scheduled for Jack Smith. Are you even a legal special counsel? Is it even legal for you to be special counsel? Eileen Cannon just booked that. This is like panic mode. This is full scale collapse. Am I wrong?
No, the Democrats' house of cards has collapsed, and all they're left with is a bimbo porn star and a disgraced, disbarred, serial perjurer and convicted felon as the star witnesses by this corrupt judge, Juan Merchan, who should have recused from this case because his adult daughter's raising millions of dollars off of it. You have Alvin Bragg, the Soros-funded Manhattan DA who campaigned on getting Trump. And then you have this former Biden political operative, Matthew Colangelo. This is collapsing on. This was their worst. Out of all four of the criminal cases, this case in New York was their worst, dumbest case. It was like during the Kavanaugh confirmation when they couldn't just stick to Christine Blasey Ford, who was lying through her teeth, but she was the most credible. They had to bring in 5 others, including Michael Avenatti, Stormy Daniels' former attorney, and Julie Swetnick. And that's when that all backfired, and we got Kavanaugh confirmed and sent 4 Senate Democrats packing in an off-year election when Democrats won the House. We took out 4 Senate Democrat incumbents. We picked up 2 seats in the Senate, and a historical feat. And oh, by the way, that allowed us to confirm Justice Amy Coney Barrett to replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg and transform the Supreme Court for the first time in 90 years. So I'm glad the Democrats are playing this game, because frankly, if they wouldn't have indicted Trump, if they would have just let him go to Mar-a-Lago and wrote a nasty report and left him alone, he would not be the leading presidential candidate right now. He would have retired. And guess what? They went after him and they turned him into Nelson Mandela. They turned him into a legend. He's peeling off Biden's black base, and Trump's going to win by a landslide on November 5th, 2024. So thank you to these Democrats.
Thank you, Fannie Willis. The mugshot hangs proudly in our studio, and I used Trump's mugshot to wrap some of my Christmas presents for my family members. So, Mike, you'll be getting a big Christmas present from our team this year. The audience just absolutely loves you. I do want to focus on something really quickly that you just said. You don't think Trump would have run for president if they hadn't have gone at him with this lawfare? You think it's backfired that badly? That's remarkable.
I seriously doubt that Trump would have run again. His polling was too devastated after he left office. I don't think he would have won the primary if they didn't do this lawfare against him. And once they went after him, I said, you know what? They're going to make Trump the nominee. We're going to turn lemons into lemonade, and we're going to put him back into the White House.
Wow. So the first day of your viceroyship, what happens to Jack Smith?
Oh, Jack Smith is so fired on day one. And he's going to be he has to be part of the Trump 47 Justice Department's criminal probe. Whoever Trump brings in as his acting attorney general on day one, that acting attorney general must open a criminal probe on this criminal conspiracy against rights under 18 U.S.C. 241. And remember what the Democrats always say, no one is above the law. And that criminal conspiracy needs to include these Democrat judges and these Democrat prosecutors and these Democrat witnesses and these Democrat operatives, including inside and outside of the government, who are conspiring to violate the civil rights of President Trump, his top aides like Peter Navarro and Steve Bannon, his attorneys like John Eastman and Jeff Clark, and his supporters on January 6th. These Democrats have politicized and weaponized our justice systems at every level to go after political enemies. And that is unacceptable. They crossed the Rubicon. The only way we come back from this is the most severe legal, political, and financial consequences. And that's going to start on January 20th, 2025. So these Democrats inside government and those Democrats outside of government, like Andrew Weissman, lawyer up, kiddos.
Just such mean shit talk, Mike. I just love it. It's just the meanest. I'd love it. I love it. It's we need more of it, actually. Right here, right now, on the mat. Any place, anywhere, anytime. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to fight fire with somebody who's on fire right now, please go and support the Article 3 Project. Please go and support Mike Davis and his work. He has taken this tour international for anyone who dares have him. And Mike, we consider you a friend, and very proud of you, buddy. This is your moment, man.
Thank you, Ben.
All right. Take care, man. Godspeed. Mike Davis, just the flamethrower. Just rolling through. We'll have memes for him next time. We'll have the memes for him next time. We're gonna make a whole suite of maybe Mike Davis, from the Patriot, maybe Mel Gibson, Mike Davis versus the British. It's gonna be extremely exciting, ladies and gentlemen. So we have something that we haven't done in a hot minute, a cringe alert. We want to do a cringe alert for Michael Cohen. We'd like to obviously devastate Michael Cohen and devastate him as a witness. Did you know that Michael Cohen ran some type of greaseball operation to get people to for him to go be your lawyer? I didn't even know this. So after being a convicted perjurer and after going to prison, Michael Cohen put out an ad like this. Here's your cringe alert for the day.
problems, both professional and personal, gaining power, wealth, and notoriety for myself in the process, and I paid the price for it. Since then, I've been on a journey of redemption, working to set things right with my family, my friends, my country, speaking truth to power and calling it like I see it. But now I'm paying it forward, wielding the tools that I've learned for regular people in trouble. The little guy doesn't usually have access to people with my particular set of skills, but that's all about to change. I'll work with you, offering expertise, advice, and solutions to fix your problem. Together, we'll change your life. I am your fixer.
I should have done my Mike Davis impression for Mike. I'm sorry. I should have done my Michael Cohen impression for Mike Davis. I did be your fixer. Did you know that Michael Cohen has been trying to profit off this, off of being a criminal? I had no idea. That's so humiliating, ladies and gentlemen. The man is not well. The man is not well. The man is not right in the head. Remember, lying liars who lie. Do not trust beautiful liars. Trust people with brutal truth. Speaking of wellness, you should consider signing up with my friends at the Wellness Company to prepare for what we assume is going to be a very rough next couple of months, 6 months away, less than 6 months away from the 2024 election. What do they got cooking up in the labs? I don't know. I know this. You got to have a kit to be ready. You got to have a kit to be ready. The more we learn about the last pandemic, the more it's become clear that these people are monsters and will do anything for power. You need one of the emergency kits from my friends at the Wellness Company. They have life-saving medications that can help you out in any situation, antibiotics, antivirals, antiparasitics, and a good and trusted set of usage guidelines written by doctors that you trust. twc.health/Benny is where you can find it. twc.health/Benny. Enter the code Benny for 10% off. Again, that's twc.health/Benny. Prescriptions may be required. See site for details. So, yeah, we got some very interesting news right now. We are processing. J.D. Vance, who we talked about was standing right behind Donald Trump when he was going into the courthouse. He just gave a live commentary outside of the court in New York. Now, J.D. Vance is considered one of the top VP contenders. We typically wouldn't do this, but we thought, why not take J.D.'s commentary? He is a senator from Ohio. He was just in court with Donald Trump. We haven't seen this before, where like the senator and somebody who's very high up on the VP selection, somebody who's obviously a rock star in the making, J.D. Vance. Haven't seen anything from J.D. Vance that I don't like. The guy's amazing. He's out front of the court in New York, like doggedly and brutally defending Donald Trump against these accusations and talking about what this means writ large for the country. We thought we'd carry his comments that were live just a second ago to you, since this is a really big deal. This is the first time we've seen a VP finalist, if you were to believe the reporting, appearing with Donald Trump. And here's what he had to say.
About what I've witnessed so far in my couple hours in there. First of all, Michael Cohen is the prosecution's star witness. This guy is a convicted felon who admitted in his testimony that he secretly recorded his former employer, that he only did it once, allegedly, and that this was supposed to help Donald Trump. Does any reasonable, sensible person believe anything that Michael Cohen says? I don't think that they should, and I actually think that his testimony is going to hurt with any reasonable juror, and hopefully we have a few of those. I want to say two other things here very quickly. Number one, the thing that the president is prevented from saying, which is a disgrace, is that every single person involved in this prosecution is practically a Democratic political operative. The judge inside, his daughter, is making millions of dollars running against Donald Trump, raising money for Donald Trump's political opponents. The number 3 person to the Department of Justice, Biden's Department of Justice, left to become a local prosecutor to go after Donald Trump. And of course, there's Alvin Bragg, a Soros-funded prosecutor who promised to go after Donald Trump and now is doing exactly that. Now, look, Whether you love Donald Trump, whether you like Donald Trump, or whether you're a Democrat or don't care about politics, what's going on inside that courtroom is a threat to American democracy, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot have a country where you get to prosecute your political opponents instead of persuading voters. Joe Biden's entire strategy is to try to distract from inflation at home and war overseas with this sham trial. I just want to live in a reasonable country where we try to persuade voters in our politics. We don't try to throw our political opponents in jail. So this is a disgrace, and I wanted to be here to show some support for my friend. And speaking of my friend, here.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's J.D. Vance's live commentary outside the court. A brutal takedown of Joe Biden and sounding very, very, I don't know, vice presidential. Donald Trump looking very, very presidential in New Jersey, a blue state, in a town called Wildwood, New Jersey, that has population of 5,000 people. Donald Trump pulled 100,000 people, according to reports, to his rally in Wildwood, New Jersey. It was pandemonium. Remarkable stuff. This is what the crowd looked like at the event. There are so many crowd photos. You can, like when they say red wave, this is what the red wave looks like. You don't get 100,000 people for college football games. You don't get this kind of crowds for NBA games or NFL games. Donald Trump's pulling this kind of energy. Donald Trump's the closer. So I want you to keep this in mind. We're going to show you some polls here that are going to really uplift you. Fight like you're behind. Okay? Fight like every single vote matters. Please, I beg of you. Now is the time to absorb this energy, to internalize it, and to say, I will do more. I will become a precinct captain. I will begin to register my neighbors. I'm not going to wait for Scott Pressler to do it. I'm going to register my neighbors. I'm going to go and chase ballots where it's legal. I'm going to go and ensure that my family is registered to vote, that they return their ballots, that they go and vote on election day, whatever the rules may be in your particular precinct or state. Now is the time to be hungry, aggressive, and to be rock-ribbed about this. Victory is within our grasp. This is our moment. Now is not the time to sit back and to be slothful and to say, wow, we got it made. Nope. That's exactly what Hillary Clinton did in 2016. How'd that work out? No. Now is the time to be hungry animals and to go chase this thing. Fox News saying they've never seen a crowd this big for Trump. Now let's turn that into an election victory. In New Jersey, in New York, in Minnesota, there are so many states now at play. The blue wall has crumbled. Fox News gasping about it.
This is going to show you, this is what a typical Trump rally, I would say, would look like, right? Full. You got a ton of people here that have been here, like I said, for hours. But if we walk behind and take you through where the press is, this is the astounding part here. This is one of the largest Trump rallies I've ever been to in the last 5 years or so. And you can see just thousands of people in the back here. And most of those.
Look at that. Look at that. The aerial view, it looks like Burning Man is what I said. The aerial view looked like Burning Man. You could see it's on a beach, and there was the kind of people that you'd expect at like a massive concert in the desert, right? Like massive EDM concert in the desert. Donald Trump said at this rally that he is going to expand the electoral map. Donald Trump said at this rally that he is going to play for New Jersey and New York, and that they're going to have an election that is, and I love this slogan, too big to rig. Let's go.
As you can see today, we're expanding the electoral map because we are going to officially play in the state of New Jersey. We're going to win the state of New Jersey.
Jerry, meme maker Jerry on our staff is saying we should do a music festival and call it MAGA stock. And I'm 100% behind that. MAGA stock? Yes. Kid Rock is the headliner. Perfect. Big and Rich. right? We know those guys. John Rich, he's a friend. That's great. We pull in some big acts. Jason Aldean is completely based. Most country music stars are completely based. Yes, fantastic. MAGA stock. Let's do it. Post Malone for MAGA stock, says Klein, and the answer is absolutely. Donald Trump making a Hannibal Lecter joke. Okay, so here's the setup here. I think that Donald Trump might have seen this article from the Babylon Bee. So he said that Donald Trump was called Hannibal Lecter seconds ago at the court, and that's a matter of fact. Here's what the Babylon Bee article said from earlier in the week. Trump forced to wear Hannibal Lecter muzzle for gag order violations with a photo of Donald Trump in court. They make Donald Trump wear this to court. Trump wins 49 states. We assure you. Here's Donald Trump talking about that at the rally. Let's go.
Silence of the Lambs. Has anyone ever seen a Silence of the Lambs? The late, great Hannibal Lecter is a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner. Remember the last scene? Excuse me, I'm about to have a friend for dinner as this poor doctor walked by. I'm about to have a friend for dinner, but Hannibal Lecter, congratulations, the late, great Hannibal Lecter. We have people that are being released into our country that we don't want in our country.
Okay, so maybe he's making a cannibalism joke there? Not exactly sure, but it is true. He was asked about Hannibal Lecter. Donald Trump was asked about being Hannibal Lecter in the court. This is our playback from earlier. We played you Trump's full commentary at the court. Here's the question from the press about Hannibal Lecter.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Trump, who's with you in the courtroom today?
Why Hannibal Lecter? Do you plan to testify?
And that is going to do it for his comments this morning, but he said...
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, really good. So here we go. Let's get into this poll that everybody is talking about this morning. This is the New York Times poll. Trump leads Biden in 5 of 6 key swing states and 2 key voting groups. Dessert, Joe, for brutal polling for the Democrat. Oh, man. This is absolutely destruction. Dude, check this out. Okay, so among registered voters, Biden only leads in Wisconsin. Trump leads everywhere else. Trump leads in Georgia, Nevada, Arizona, Pennsylvania. The poll was big. It is over 4,000 registered voters. This is a monster poll. Donald Trump is breaking away Black and Hispanic voters. Get a load of that. From Nate Cohen, the Times chief political analyst. Trump's strength is largely thanks to gains among young Black and Hispanic voters. Oh, man. Oh, baby. This is going to be so exciting. They're going to dump Biden at the convention. You know they're going to do it. You know they're going to do it. They're going to say that Joe Biden's going to have a scare or a phone call from a family member. Ashley Biden's going to go talk to him during shower time, and they're going to convince Joe not to do it. They're going to do a switcheroo. They're going to do a Gavin Newsom switcheroo. You know that's going to it's got to happen. It's going to happen. I'm waiting for it. The switcheroo. If the 2024 presidential election were held today, who would you vote for? Donald Trump or Joe Biden? You can see Donald Trump just commanding by 4, 6, 8, 7 points in all of these swing states. Look at Nevada. It's out of control. Look at Georgia. That's a 10-point swing. Wow. This is CNN talking about this as they fight back tears. Here we go.
Look, these Sunbelt battleground states, frankly, for the Joe Biden campaign, these numbers are an absolute disaster. The smallest lead is in Arizona for Donald Trump. He's up 6. Look at this, 9 in Georgia, 13 in Nevada. My goodness gracious, my God. That is a huge lead. No Democrat has lost that state since John Kerry lost it back in 2004. How about these Great Lake battleground states? This is something that the Joe Biden campaign can work with. Look, Pennsylvania, Donald Trump up 3, but that's well within the margin of error. Wisconsin, Donald Trump up 1, well within the margin of error. And actually, a Joe Biden lead well within the margin of error, up a point here. This they can work with the Joe Biden campaign. This, the Donald Trump campaign, absolutely loves, and it looks like a lot of the other polling on the Sunbelt battleground.
Yeah, but that's 270 right there. They can't lose those states. Joe Biden can't lose those states. and also lose of course, the New Hampshires and the North Carolinas. Like Joe Biden can't lose them. So that's already the election victory. Again, I want to win as an America First conservative. I don't want to lose as an American First patriot. I don't want to lose. I want to win. 270 gets us there, and that map says 270. CNN continuing I love this guy's name, Harry Enton. He's like, I find him very entertaining on CNN and very factual. Harry Enton, continuing with the sort of open mouth gasping at what Donald Trump has done, or better yet, what Democrats have done for Donald Trump in creating a new coalition of young people, black people, Hispanic people, running, sprinting to vote for America First. Check it out.
Looking into the numbers, why do you think Biden is doing better in the Great Lakes and Trump is doing so much better in the Sun Belt?
Yeah, the Trump coalition is changing. That's basically what's cooking here. This is at least one of the big reasons why. So this is among likely voters in all these battleground states we just spoke about. Back in 2020, 84% of the Trump campaigns, the Trump coalition was white. Look where it is now. It's 78%. The non-white portion of the Trump coalition, it was 13% in 2020. Look at this now. It's 19%. So the Trump coalition is becoming more diverse. And, of course, those Sun Belt battleground states are more diverse than the Great Lake battleground states.
You're looking at the Nevadas and the Arizonas here.
Of course. If you look at Nevada, Arizona, heavy Hispanic population, Georgia, heavily African-American population, Michigan does have some black voters in it, but Pennsylvania and Wisconsin are heavily, heavily white.
We knew it would come to this. Ladies and gentlemen, we knew it would come to this. Our salt.lib, some of you with the sleuthing can see, the shiny, sparkly salt shaker. For our sodium deficient friends on MSNBC, we're going to salt Morning Joe. We're going to put some salt in his coffee. Now, Morning Joe was on today saying what we knew was going to happen. It's a Babylon Bee headline in the making. I think this was a Babylon Bee headline. I'm pretty sure. But Morning Joe actually said it. I want you to listen closely. And this is why we're salty Joe this morning. In this clip, they're going to make the case for how voting in the 2024 election is a threat to democracy. We kid you not. So, this is the chickens voting for Colonel Sanders to be president. These guys are saying that if you vote in the American election, that you are a threat to democracy. We knew it would come to this. We knew this was the final collapse of the talking point. This is the final collapse of the talking point. Is that democracy is a threat to democracy. Because these people are actually oligarchical and tyrannical in their positioning, in their thought process in life. They're this type of wickedness that is regularly discussed. Some of the books that I read, Thomas Sowell is just an unbelievable author that I'm trying to read his entire library right now, and I highly recommend it. Do you want to control another person? That's the question. Do you wish to have full end-to-end control of another person? That's the point of all of this, right? Do you want to control all of the actions, the deeds, the thoughts, the media consumption, the movements of another person? That sounds like hell on earth to me. There's not a single stitch in my body that wants to totally own or control another person. Yet, the megalomaniacal, atheistic left wishes to do this to fill the God-shaped hole in their hearts. Because they can't accept that there's a God and a creator of the universe who's in charge. They feel like they need to be in charge, and they're enraged at your free will. They're enraged that you have free will to vote for Donald Trump. God forbid. It cuts against their very nature, and so they would rather stop you from voting. This is the way it always works. They are going to get rid of the vote next. This is the next play. To defend democracy, we must stop democracy. That's what they're going to do. This is it. You didn't vote the right way, so it's time for us to destroy your ability to vote. I'm telling you, these people, it's evil. It's the essence of tyranny. It's the essence of godlessness. It's demonic. They wish to control you. Here's Morning Joe. Salt this lib. Here's Morning Joe saying that you, the voter, are the true threat to democracy. Let's go.
We have a vote. We're going to have a vote this fall. And I know a lot of Republicans, John Meacham would call them Peter Millar vest-wearing Republicans, who just want to pretend that it's Bob Dole against Bill Clinton. They're going, well, I just always vote for a Republican. No, this year, you're not just voting for a Republican. It's a vote for a candidate who doesn't believe in the most basic principles of American democracy. And we could go down the list, but I really don't want to waste my breath on it because everybody knows about it. Everybody knows about, the killing of generals and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But you have Republicans, those Peter Millar vest-wearing Republicans who want to say, it's just like, it's Republicans and Democrats. What's the difference? No, it's a vote actually for somebody that does not subscribe to the most basic precepts of American democracy against a candidate who does. And it's really that simple, Donnie, isn't it?
It is. We've said many times on the show, when an authoritarian tells you what they're going to do, you pay attention to him. Well, now his followers are telling you what they're going to do, so you pay attention to it. And for anybody, and Joe, you can tick off the list. We can all tick off the list, whether it's no longer a free election, whether it's a weaponized Justice Department, whether it's an independent Federal Communications Commission, on and on and on. We can go. When anybody says to me, well, that's not really going to happen because we've got checks and balances in the institutions, you're already seeing there will be no checks and balances. So not only do we have the tell from Fearless Leader, we have the tell from the lemming followers. So there's no mystery here. So there is absolutely no mystery here. So anybody that votes Republican and doesn't understand you're voting for the end of democracy, just pay attention to the Sunday shows this past weekend.
What a bunch of babies. What a bunch of babies. They know they're going to lose. They know they're going to lose. And so they're already grabbing their rattles and grabbing their pacifiers and screaming from the top of their lungs about how dangerous Donald Trump is, how scary it is. In the midst of trying to put Donald Trump in prison, they're screaming about a weaponized Justice Department. In the midst of Donald Trump facing 91 federal charges, they are screaming about Donald Trump being an authoritarian and a tyrant. As Joe Biden defies the Supreme Court again and again and again and forgives student loans, defies every single measure of correction for him. And now, finally, the final lever of correction is upon us, the election. Do not be complacent. Do not be psyoped by this. These people are all owned and operated, okay? It's a psyop. It's a black and white. It's an Overton window situation. They're going to accuse you of what they are guilty of. And it's Stalinist tactics. It won't work. It's failed. It's embarrassing. It makes me so proud of our show whenever we play clips like that because, man, the standards of broadcasting on MSNBC are pretty low. And the standards of actual commentary are really embarrassing, honestly. Like, it's embarrassing to watch clips like that. So I'm glad we've salted them. Remember the nature of the godless authoritarian. Remember that these people simply wish to control your life down to the, it's 1984. You will love Big Brother. You love him. It's down to the very, nature of evil. They'll take away your right to vote because they don't like the way you vote. It's incredible. The real threat to democracy are the voters. You know that's where it's going. It really is. It really is regressive. It'll be so fun to watch them cry. We're already preparing 5 months from now. Make sure your tumblers are empty. The tears will flow, ladies and gentlemen. Tears should flow in your home if anybody dares cross your sacred threshold. Hopefully you live in a state like mine where there's castle law, where you can defend yourself. Every single Monday, we have our Monday Gun Day, baby. Let's go. Monday Gun Day, brought to you by Spike's Tactical, the official AR-15 of the Johnson household. Stay strapped, boys and you can stay strapped in Pennsylvania. Gun controls, including bump stock ban, defeated in Pennsylvania House. A very good sign. 2 gun control measures. One was a bump stock ban, defeated in Pennsylvania House, despite a rally by activists and pro-gun control lawmakers, Republicans, and 1 Democrat voted against the bump stock ban, and gun control requiring federal firearms license holders to report sales electronically was defeated as well. Pennsylvania remains free. This is a very, very good thing. Look, this argument is really good by one of the people who voted against it. Look at the FBI crime statistics. Actually putting criminals in jail is what works, not creating new crimes, not by duplicating something that is already covered in federal law. That's exactly correct. Also, interestingly enough, I have yet to hear one of these gun control organizations who scream bloody murder in the hysteric cortisol pulsing through their veins, declare that Joe Biden Secret Service should be disarmed. Nobody has ever called for the disarming of AOC's personal bodyguards. Why don't you set an example and disarm if these are so bad? Also, pretty curious that the people who are calling for the strictest gun control for gun criminals are the people who support the Biden family. And Hunter Biden is just a week or 2 away from his own federal gun charges hearing, which could land him in jail for 25 years. Will that happen? I don't think so, but we'll see. Get ready for that. I hope you popped your popcorn. Hunter Biden going to trial on a couple of things here. Let me see. Is this responsible? We hear a lot of Joe Biden talking about irresponsible gun usage. Let's see. Hunter Biden was high on crack when he bought a gun, and then his brother's widow, his dead brother's widow who he was banging, got into a fight with him. She took the gun and put it in a trash can right next to a high school in Wilmington, Delaware. And that's where they left the gun. And then in the police report, Hunter Biden decided to blame a couple of Latino workers in the parking lot of that store where the argument took place for putting the gun there. We kid you not. Read the police report. Maybe we'll read it on the show tomorrow just for fun. You can read the police report. Hunter Biden once again blames a racial minority for his crime. He's done this we can count 4 or 5 different times. It is remarkable. Politico got a copy of the police report. I've always wanted to go up to Wilmington, Delaware. My wife's from Delaware, and don't hold that against her. But go to Wilmington, Delaware, and go to that gun store because it's still operational. I want to go talk with those people. The Secret Service tried to shake them down and get all the documentation. They wouldn't give it to them. People are patriots. So anyway, don't listen to these criminals and these people who protect criminals. Hunter Biden is exactly the kind of person who should go to jail. We're 100% in favor of gun criminals going to prison. All the rest of us, the 99.99999% of peaceful, law-abiding gun owner, should not have to suffer because of jackasses like Hunter Biden, who abuse our Second Amendment. Put him in jail. Let's go. Put him in jail. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. You will be put somewhere. Probably won't make it to jail. If you come a knocking on the Johnson household, that's because we are protected by Spike Saskel's AR-15, and we're trained on them. And yeah, don't come a knocking if you want to stay walking. All right. So anyway. That is the way life works in red states. That's the way life works in this country. That's actually why the Second Amendment is why the government has total and complete control over our lives. They're scared because every single month, 1 million new firearms are sold into private stock and private possession in this country. The Second Amendment makes this country a great place to live and a good place to live. And we're very, very proud of our Second Amendment. Also, our First Amendment, which allows us to speak freely. That's what we do on this program. If you wish to support our program, please sign up for the Benny Brigade. The Benny Brigade at BennyJohnson.com. That is how you can support our program. $5 a month. The cost of a Chick-fil-A waffle fry plus a Polynesian sauce. That's what it would cost to keep us and our show going so that we do not have to, so that we can be completely independent. And that's how we wish to remain on this program, and not owned and operated by some corporate media conglomerate or some people that can tell you what to say or when to say it. We've been there. You don't want that. Okay, we want to stay free on this program, and we love keeping you free, ladies and gentlemen, with our verse of the day, because in truth, there is actual freedom. Verse of the day from Psalms 37, the Lord makes firm the steps of the one who delights in him. Step with confidence, march with confidence into this week with us. It's your boy, Benny. This is The Benny Show. See ya.